The lantern keeper of Ravenswood. In the quiet village of Ravenswood, there stood an old lighthouse on a rocky cliff overlooking the tumultuous sea. The lighthouse had been abandoned for decades, its light extinguished and its purpose long forgotten. Villagers told tales of a ghostly figure who wandered the cliffs at night, carrying an old lantern and searching the waters below. One winter evening, intrigued by the legend, Claire, a young historian with a passion for uncovering the past, decided to explore the old lighthouse. She wrapped herself in warm clothes and set out just as the sun was setting, casting long shadows over the icy shore. The path to the lighthouse was treacherous, and the wind howled as Claire climbed the worn steps leading up to the building. Inside, the lighthouse was cold and dark, filled with the scent of salt and neglect. She made her way up the spiral staircase to the lantern room, where the broken glass and rusted metal spoke of years of abandonment. As she explored, Claire heard the faint sound of footsteps behind her. Turning around, she saw nothing but the empty staircase. Undeterred, she continued to the top, where she found a small wooden chest hidden in a corner. Inside the chest was an old lantern and a journal, its pages yellowed and fragile. Claire carefully opened the journal and began to read. The entries belonged to Robert, the last keeper of the lighthouse. His writings reveal that he had been devoted to his duty, guiding ships through dangerous waters. However, during a fierce storm, he had been unable to prevent a tragic shipwreck, and the blame for the disaster had been unfairly placed upon him. One entry read, "The storm rages, and the sea claims its due. I cannot forgive myself for failing those who trusted the light. I am bound to this place until someone understands my sorrow." As Claire read these words, a spectral figure appeared before her. Robert's ghostly form was clad in the old uniform of a lighthouse keeper. His eyes filled with a mixture of sadness and hope. "Please," Robert said, his voice like the distant roar of the sea, "tell my story so that my spirit may find peace." Claire promised to honor Robert's memory and began to document his story, focusing on the truth behind the shipwreck and the injustice that had been done to him. She wrote a detailed account of the events, revealing that Robert had done all he could during the storm, and that the disaster had been caused by a navigational error made by the ship's captain. With the story finally told, Claire returned to the lighthouse. The storm had passed, and the night was clear, the sea calm. Robert's spirit appeared once more, his form glowing softly in the moonlight. "Thank you for revealing the truth," he said, his voice filled with relief. "Now I can rest." As Robert's spirit faded into the night, the lantern's light flickered once more, casting a warm, guiding glow over the cliffs. The lighthouse, once a symbol of darkness and abandonment, was now a beacon of hope and reconciliation. Claire's work on Robert's story gained widespread acclaim, and the lighthouse was preserved as a historical monument. It stood as a reminder of the past, a place where people could reflect on the sacrifices made by those who came before